Hey, it's God's Pirate again. This is part 2 to the responses of Go Get a Trade or a W-2. I wanted to throw this in, and I'm going to try to talk a little bit faster because I don't want to drag this out. This is your time. 5 years ago, I was working for a medical facility, and I was the only maintenance man. This medical facility was about 4 football fields long and wide, and COVID hit. This is a medical facility. The first month it hit, I think we had 7 million boxes of gloves. At the end of that month, we had 0. They even stole some of mine out of my own personal stash because I usually have to wear gloves to maintain all the machines. Some of them I had to grease, oil. I fixed box creators. I think there's these machines that they actually build their own cardboard boxes. I had to fix the conveyor belt. I had to fix the machines. And during COVID, I actually had to fill up 53-foot semi-trailers every 2 hours. This was 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. This was the origin of when I started hurting. You see, I always believed in working hard and working and being worthy, but I overdid it. Actually, I didn't do it to myself. The company did it to me. They made me fill up a semi every 2 hours, and I was the maintenance man. And during COVID, they also let a lot of people go, including the people that were picking up the trash in the warehouse. So I also had to replace them. About 4 months into this, I quit. I had to. My arms were giving away. I couldn't stand. My feet were gone. It was always on concrete, even though they did supply rubber mats. I'm a maintenance guy. I don't get to sit in one place like most did. I had to constantly move around. Within this 5 years, I also worked for Home Depot. That lasted a year, and I learned how to drive a forklift. That's another trade. And this is where not only did I learn how to drive and operate a forklift, I learned how to do it practically closing my eyes because it was another 12-hour-a-day job. They were too toxic. I had to let them go for a different story. During this time, I'd say in the last 3 years, this is what I did do. I built a Get-Go gas station. They hired me to help them with it. I built a Chipotle. I built a Panda Express. I went and I worked on a park. I took tickets for a racetrack. I probably built 3 different houses, one from start to finish, which took about 6 months because of well, the paperwork. One of them was going in and gutting one out and replacing it with everything. Me and 2 other guys did that. And the third one was somebody bought the house and wanted to renovate it with new wiring. Now, I don't certify myself as an electrician. I actually hired an electrician, but I helped. I was like the helper to pull it out, send a wire through. I did a lot of plumbing for it. That was just a few of the jobs I've done in the last 3 years, and I've been DoorDashing. I'd say I'm going on my 2nd year, close to starting my 3rd year. So learning a trade for me has been something that I've always been interested in the last 32 years. I picked up plenty of trades. See, working for a temp service, they will send you to a job and you tell them what your qualifications are. Not all the jobs will follow those qualifications. So they'll get somebody that's, I don't know, closest to it, and it was usually me because back then I would work so hard that they just wanted a hard worker there. And I would get to where I would learn another trade. That's the thing you were talking about, the commenter. And I would move on. most of the jobs, I had one last as long as 6 months in the last 32 years, but most of the jobs lasted 2 weeks. I did a lot of apartment upgrades where they renovated the whole apartment complex, and I poured a lot of concrete, probably in the last 2 years. I work a lot. So in response to the one that says you need to go learn a trade, I hurt. I am tired. I feel like I built part of this state. I have always been a roofing owner, a music store owner. I have, up until the pandemic started, I actually owned a little store down here. Now, that's not to say, and I am going to be quiet with this, and later on, I will tell you exactly what me and my wife do now, but she's the owner-operator of a store. And the only reason I'm not bringing it in is because I want to make sure she maintains that, because she specializes in something. And one thing I learned from not only experience, but I actually saw this, is you don't tell somebody everything on how you make. I still teach my kids this. Never brag about where your money's coming from, because the same person you talk to a week later might be your competitor. I found this out firsthand through my aunt, who bragged about what she was doing for a living. She told a man what she was doing for a living, and a week later he became her competitor, and this man even knocked her out of business. This was her dream job that she kept for almost 40 years. This is also why I don't come to YouTube and tell you everything I've done, but from what I mentioned just in the last 5 years, that's a lot. So this is the second part of go get another trade. I'm traded out. I got enough experience to go out here in a lot and pretty much build another house. Actually another company. Like I stated, I built restaurants. I built gas stations. I have the thing is, now I want to pursue something different. I want to keep building, and I want to keep making this a better city. And I still do help a lot of people out when it comes to their houses. I renovate them, make them look better, make the sinks look better, make the make the whole bathroom look better, make it look to where when they invite somebody over, they won't be embarrassed to open up their door and say, yeah, you can use the restroom, because they'll see something they've never seen before. I mean, it's totally off of the top of my head, and it's always different. It's always legal, follows all the bylaws, but it's totally something different. I'm always doing colors. I'm always doing like waterfall fountains. I'm always doing something different. This is what I love about life, and this is also why I love America so much. I can get away with experimenting within the boundaries of staying legal. So this is the last time I'm going to actually mention this, but for some of the commenters that says go learn a trade or go learn, go get a W-2, that's too late. One of these days I might go get another W-2 on a, I don't know, another company where I can actually grow. But around here in my area, which I'm not really going to mention too much, there's a lot of dead-end jobs. They want you per hour. They don't want your investment. They want to use you. Me being a temp service and going to a lot of these companies, and I've probably been to an easy 1,200 companies, I see how they treat other people. I'm not doing a W-2. I'm 56. I'm doing investments. And this is why I love, the number one reason I love DoorDash so much. That extra money lets me put some of my money into my wife and that company, into me, that particular company, and into letting my money grow, which is a different thing. I got a lot going on. It's not just DoorDash, but the main reason why I'm on YouTube and doing DoorDash is because, unlike this video, I wanted to teach and show you people firsthand of what I go through, because a lot of people from DoorDash, they go through something different than what I go through. I still see them doing things that I can't do, and I'm still getting away with things that they can't get away with. So yeah, I do make videos about me mainly door dashing, but that's not the reason why I started my YouTube channel. It's for you to follow me throughout all the things I do. It's just out right now in life, DoorDash is taking a lot of my hours up, because with my investment and me trying to retire, this is what I'm doing right now at that particular time, and it's something that I can talk to you about. Hopefully you do go through some of these videos and go, I didn't know you could do that, or you could do that. I'm even up for questions. So like I stated before, the comments doesn't bother me, but for someone to say go learn a new whatever, nah, I know enough. With that much said, I still love you, and I want you to take care of yourself. Peace.